Hello my gorgeous makeup loving friends, how's it going? Welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, hi, my name is Teresa. It is time for another Rated or Slated while my cat rummages through the wreckage that is my beauty room. Anyways, I've got the Carnival Antidote for whatever palette by Stacey Marie, and look, if you've seen my Rated or Slated before, it is pretty standard. Swatches, tutorial, review, all that sort of thing. I obviously went for something very wearable. I don't know, I got a lot of new stuff that I wanted to glue to my face, so this is what happened. Anyways, if you want to see Swatches, a tutorial on this, I don't glue this stuff on camera because you don't need to see that, and an overall review, then hooray, this is the video for you. Do please keep on watching. Come on a journey through time and space. Look, I know everyone has done this particular palette, but now it's my turn. I'm going to actually swatch these in almost like the three separate palettes that they are, because that makes sense to me. So I'm going to start off first with these three, and then these three, and then these three columns, okay? So I'm going to start off first with the warm row. Right, so we have October, Fawn, Pin-Up, and Pretty Peachy. Yeah, do you know what? I think there's probably maybe one or two shades that have similarity across the three existing Carnivals. I mean, I'm not saying it's an exact shade, but I think there's probably some similarities. We then have Sugar Maple, then Zest, Brass, and Cinnamon, the name of my newest cat. Yes, because apparently I need more. And, oh, now we have Pecan, a Pecan Pie. If you've watched When Harry Met Sally, you know what I'm talking about. Spiced Coral. Honey. And Sweet Cheeks. Yeah, I mean, I think when you put it like this, it makes sense as a palette, like all put together. And the last three of this palette, we have Aubergine, Fall, and Fuego. Come on, let's get a bit more Fuego. Yeah, so this is the first part of the palette. It's the very warm toned, orangey, purpley yum-yums. Yeah, so next up is obviously the kind of middle neutral row. Not really my jam, but that's the next bit. Should I have gone off and done a proper cleanse of my face? Maybe. Just saying. I am after like traveling a lot this weekend, so whatever. Anyways, we're going into the neutral part of the palette. So we have Buff, which unfortunately has nothing to do with Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Very sad. Then Dove, Simmer, and Dwindle. Yeah, I mean they are super neutral. Super neutral to the rescue! Solving all of your Caucasian problems. I don't know, but like your pasta has too much flavour. I don't know. Elixir. Yes. Dusk. Pampas. Whatever that is. I'll put this one here. Dusty Rose. Dusty. Is it dusty? I'm in a really weird space, lads. Really weird. Then, okay, there's some pinky bits to this. Okay, so we have Latte. Okay. Then Bon Bon. Cutie Pie. Oh, that's a nice shade. I like that. And Siren. You'll go there. That is quite a deep one. Okay, we're a little bit, it's happening. And then last three from here, we have Oyster. That's nice and shiny. Chestnut. And of course, my moustache one, Stone. So that's the middle part of the palette. Again, it's quite neutral, it's pinky, shaded, you know? Yeah, now we're on to the final section, the green bit. And I'm going to try to not use only that section when I'm doing my makeup. It's gonna be hard. That's what she said. I hate myself. Okay, the last section. So, are we gonna say maybe July 2022? Yeah? I mean, like when W7 are gonna come out with the dupe of this, I assume. We have Suede, Ash, Mystic, and Granite. Look, these are lovely grungy tones, very autumnal. I don't dislike it. I'm excited about the next few shades. They look like my kind of thing. We have Dusty. I like that. Sable. Oh, that's a very appley green. Moss, which is funny because I don't view that as being the colour of moss. Let's give it another little swipe. That didn't swatch great. Ugh. And Venom. Venom, na na na, Venom. Sorry. Just thinking of, that new song from the Venom soundtrack. Very excited for that film. God, I love Tom Hardy. Sorry, this is sheer nonsense. Are we surprised? No. We then have Silvery. Oh yeah, there's a nice green shift to that. I like that. Nectar. Antidote, which is the name of the palette. Yay! And Buttercup. I like this section. I would have, and I said this in releases and rants, if these had been sold as like 3 separate compartments, I would have probably just bought the green one. Are we surprised? Look, I know what I like, and I like what I know, We then have Clover. Solid. Glisten. Oh, it glistens. And Grunge. Well, label it what it is. Right. I mean, let's be real. This section of the palette is my thing. This is what I like. This is what I just gravitate towards. I'm very excited about playing with this section of it. I'm going to try to refrain from solely focusing on that. Maybe I shouldn't make that promise. Anyways, you've now had the swatches, you lucky, lucky things. So sexy, so beautiful. How am I not on their PR list? Because I'm a nobody. I'm a little fish in a really bad pond that's filled with algae. Anyways, the tutorial's next. Okay, so I've one eye done, and I have tried to do it so that I have each of the 3 sort of mini palettes within the palette used, because I kind of figured that's sort of what she was going for. So let's try it. I've already primed the eye, and look, I'm doing this super, super simply. And my colour switch is my main bloody thing. I will be adding more stuff, like obviously lashes and maybe some things to glue on, because that's where I am with my life. But I'll do that off camera because you don't need to know that. Anyways, I'm using this Beauty Bay liner thing, and it's called Strikeout. And I'm going into the shade Bonbon. So it's this nice kind of pink shade. So if you look at the lower half of like the middle sort of palette, it is quite pinky neutral. Which I'm like, have you been chatting to Huda and think that all neutrals are pink? Shade thrown. I don't know, I'm only joking, like, Like, I think it's actually quite pretty. Now, I do need to say something really quickly. If you've watched my previous video, just where I talk about BPerfect and the customer service, etc., and the fabulousness that is Stacey Marie, there does seem to be a little bit of an issue around their delivery because, obviously Daniela had her issues, but this seems to be kind of a constant, not a constant issue, but like it's happened a few times. So my friend Missy, who is located in the United States, she ordered the palette on pre-order because, you know, she was like, yeah, let's support Stacey Marie, you know, and I'm here for that life, you know. That's part of why I ended up getting the palette, was I loved the way that she was with Daniela. I am all for it. I am now taking the same brush again and I'm going into the shade Oyster. So she ordered it on pre-order, right? Now, for kind of context, I ordered this palette after the launch. Like, I'm very late to all of this, and I bought it on a Wednesday afternoon and it arrived the next day, so less than 24 hours. They were so efficient, so quick. Like, I was very impressed with that. However, it seems they can have a little bit of a trouble with consistency. Taking the same brush again and I'm going into Cutie Pie. So like I said, she ordered it on pre-order. I ordered it well after the launch, and I still managed to get my palette before she did. So they seem to have a little bit of an issue there. Now, she's, like I said, based in the United States, and they basically said they had the palette in the warehouse, but it seems that they just, I don't know, there's something going on there. I don't know what's happening, but I think it's just they need to have a little look at their delivery system and, you know, their customer service, because I think that's lacking. I'm going into Bonbon again and just gonna try and build it up just a little bit further, but not massively, you know. So yeah, I just thought that was a bit of a pity, like, for a brand that is really good. It just feels like they're letting themselves down a little bit. I'm now going into Sweet Cheeks with the same brush. So I know that Missy still hasn't tried the palette yet because she wasn't feeling well, etc. So I hope you're feeling a bit better, Missy, and that you've gotten a chance to play with it. But yeah, it just seems to be there's some issues around delivery, and I think more worrying for me is like the customer service, because I think that's the backbone of a brand, you know. Like, I think that's the thing that will make or break a brand, personally. I'm now going into Fuego with the same brush again. I think she had a Fuego in the Carnival 3, but it wasn't this shade, it was something else. I think it might have been like an orangey shade, so she likes that word. So I'm like, okay, that's fair. You are Fuego. But she was such a sweetheart to Daniela, very, very helpful. So like I said, that's kind of what made me bite the bullet, because I had kind of said, no, I won't bother getting this. So I'm so late to the party on this particular one. So not that anyone cares, but, you know, obviously all waiting on my opinion. Very important opinion. I'm now taking a Morphe M562 brush through the colour switch, and I'm just going to start off down here where Oyster and Bonbon and Cutie Pie are, and just swishy, swishy, blendy, blendy. Just kind of pop it around there. I just think the way that that looks is so pretty. Is that just me? Yeah. I don't know. I like it. And then I'm going to work up between these two. Now, they do blend. They absolutely do, obviously. But you do have to sit and kind of work with them a little bit longer. Now, that's probably me being a bit whatever, because let's be real, anyone who knows me, who watches me, you know I'm lazy. I don't want to sit here blending for an eternity. I'm tired, you know. I'm 31. 1 foot in the grave, 1 foot on a constant online shopping basket. I don't know. So I don't want to blend for all of my life. So you can kind of see, you do get a little bit of a harsh line there. It's not awful, like, it's not to the point that I'm like, oh my god, blah, 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 blah. But, you know, it does take some getting used to. Like, I don't absolutely love that. The liner that I'm using, by the way, is Sheen Cosmetics, and it's in the shade Ice Cream. And I am using my general hack of having a run out, used up liquid liner brush that came as part of like an Urban Decay thing, and just having it like that. But anyways, you can kind of see it's blended a little bit there, not perfectly. Don't love that, but I'm lazy and can't be bothered to do anymore, so it'll do. I'm gonna cut this out a little bit, and we'll come back and do the next part. Do they match perfectly? No. But it's also, what time? 10:10 at night. I can't be bothered. Anyways, I'm taking this Juvia's Place brush and I'm going into the shade Pampas, which is this shade here. So it's part of essentially that middle 3 columns, which she claims or says is essentially like different palettes. And you can totally see that when you're looking at it. You're like, oh, okay, totally. Now, there's good pigment on this, I have to say. I also think this could be used as a very pretty blush. Like, I'm just saying. Now, the only thing is, and I think you can see that these were made as almost 3 palettes in isolation. And I still think, don't come for me, that she should have kept it that way. She should have sold them as 3 separate palettes. It would have made a lot more sense, because some of these actually end up looking really similar to each other. There are, I'm not going to say dupes. They aren't dupes of each other in the palette, but there are shades that are quite similar. You know, they're tonally very, very similar to each other. So this has gone through the colour switch, and now I'm going into Pretty Peachy, which is this shade here. So that's part of the first kind of one of the 3 palettes. I don't know how to say that. And you can kind of see this is similar. It's not an exact dupe, but you can see when you put it over it, it has maybe more of a yellowish feel. But let's face it, if I asked my partner, could he see a difference in those, he'd say no. He'd just be like, that's the same colour. That being said, he is not the best person to ask about these things, because I love him, but like, my god, he's terrible with this sort of thing. But you can kind of see they are somewhat similar, not wildly, but there is a similarity. I'm now going into Zest with the same brush again, because I'm lazy, I believe you'll find. And I'm just gonna put it here and brush it like this. I always hate that I can never get 2 eyes exactly the same. It's very upsetting for me. Does anyone have any tips on maybe how to do that? Because I'm rubbish at it. Absolutely rubbish. I am now taking a Morphe M562, a different one now. I'm just going to blend. And I'll again be going in with Ice Cream, which is the shade from Sheen Cosmetics, to kind of do more stuff. Look, it's a very simple thing, but I did want to use each of the 3 kind of palettes within the palette, because I wanted to see how they work together. And I do think actually they all do work together in harmony. That sounds really cheesy, but yeah, there you go. You can see that blends really, really nicely. No problem with that one, whereas there was a little bit of a problem with that. Yeah, I'm going to just do the rest of the liner on that, and then we'll come back and do the next section. I'm sectioning it off. It makes sense, I think, in my head. I don't know, probably doesn't. Oh well. Okay, I'm very much tempting fate. The liner is still wet because I'm lazy. I have this Jessup 230, and what I'm going to do is go into the shade Best Cuddle. Yeah! Anyways, I'm gonna, again, you'll see some of these are kind of similar-ish on the eye, but I think it's because she has made these so that they will kind of blend with each other. Like, I'm assuming that's what she's, what the rationale was there. So I'm just packing that on in that way. I mean, let's be real. The colour story that I'm the most excited about is the green. Which is why I put that on the eyelid itself. It's like, you get pride of place to be the colours. So don't come for me. I'll do what I want. These are my eyelids. These are my eyeballs. Again, really, really good pigment on that. Taking the same brush again. Now you're gonna see there's a bit of a similarity here. I'm gonna go into the shade October. October. How the year is flying. We're almost in October actually, that's a bit weird. But do you see, this is very similar. right? I don't see much of a difference between them. Is it just me? Is it just me? Is it just me? Like, I'm asking, is it just me? I don't see a massive difference. I can't really see much of a difference. Maybe I'm blind. Somebody help. Elena! Come and help me. Don't know. Anyways, that'll do. Same brush again, but now I am going into pecan. A pecan pie. Look, that's a When Harry Met Sally reference, and if you don't know that, I'm sorry. We're in trouble. This friendship is not going to do well. And just popping that there. I'm so bad for just like laying down colours and then just being like, I'll blend them later. I can't be bothered. That's just me, really, as a human being. I can't be bothered. I'm taking this Melt Transition brush and literally just gonna sit here and blend for a little bit. Emphasis on the little bit, because, well, you know me, I'm a lazy bee. And blend it out, blend it out. I don't know what I'm doing, lads, what's happening? And blending up here. Don't worry if it's going onto the like eye socket. That's the word I was looking for. Because I'll be cleaning that up, or you can clean it up too if you're following me. Why are you following me? Taking a bit of pecan and putting that here. A terrible idea if you're following this as a tutorial. Terrible. Anyways, go look at like Missa or like Kerry or literally anyone else. You'll get more information on how to do things well. I am just here doing I don't know what. Whee! That'll do. That's appropriate. So I'm going to obviously put some more of the green here, and I'm going to clean this, put some more kind of primer down, and then we're going to finish off the center of the eye. So we're almost there for now. I mean, I have the rest of my face to do, and I have to glue things on, so the end is never near. Anyways, whatever, almost there. Okay, we're kind of onto the last section of it. I'm taking this Zoeva 238, I know, and I'm going into the shade Moss, which is this shade here. Look, it was inevitable. This is my kind of shade of green. I love it. I mean, let's be real, this side of the palette, you know, the very right hand side, the green side, that's me. That's for me. Like, if she had done the trio of palettes, I would have just gotten this. Like, I love this. I think it's gorgeous. It's green, it's grungy, it's beautiful. It's very nicely curated. I think she did a great job on this. Lovely pigment on that. I mean, look at that. Shows up, no problem. Yeah, that's a good one. It's a good one. Job's a good one. I don't know. I'm in a weird space. Anyways, taking this again, it's gone through the color switch, and I'm going into the shade Silvery, and I'm just putting it into the inner corner of the eye. So nothing massive, but it does have this just beautiful sort of a glow to it. So nothing massive. That's as much as I'm putting on. That's it. Nice and simple. And same brush again, and I'm going into Venom. Venom, banana, venom, na, na, na. I don't know anything past that. And we're gonna shove it onto the eyelid. Let's pop it on. Pop it on. Sorry, brain, no work. Faulty at this hour of night. Again, look at that, really nice pigment. Goes on no problem. Look, I mean, Stacey Marie knows how to curate a palette. BPerfect do have very good formulas. Although they can be hit or miss. Sometimes you can get a dodgy palette, which I don't love. I'm like, maybe look at your quality control a little tiny bit more. I am now going into this gorgeous shade. It's called Dusty. I personally wouldn't call it dusty, but this is a lovely grungy poopy green. Is that what I would have called it? Probably a poopy green. And that is why I don't have my own palettes, because I like to name them after bowel movements, you know? But that's really nice. It kind of gives it a bit of depth. Like, I think that's beautiful. And you don't have to work very hard to get your pigment on that one. So, like, I personally think that's really good. But you know the drill. Don't just go on my opinion. Look at other people as well, you know? They know more than me. And I am going into the shade Ash now. That's the last shade, really. Which I don't think is too bad. I've tried quite a few this time around doing this look. So that'll do, pigs, that'll do. And just popping that there. Get a nice bit of colour. And they almost like start to just automatically blend into each other, which I kind of like. I love that because I'm lazy. Are you surprised? No. No. Teresa's lazy? Oh no, who'd have thought? She'd have never given that away as a human being. No. Anyways, I have this lovely Cash Beauty brush and I don't think she has any numbers on it. It's beautiful. It's really, really nice. And I'm gonna just start in here, just at the inner corner, and just gently swishy swishy. And you can see how nicely they blend. It's just a really nice, easy transition. Like, I do enjoy that. Oh, I like being lazy. Don't worry, I'm going to pack on more of the shade Ash because it does lack a little bit there, in my opinion. So I'm going to take a little bit more and I'm going to pop it just down here at the bottom and over here and just swishy swishy. Yeah, I mean, I think you can see how nicely it all blends out. Like, it's easy to blend. But that's it. I'm gonna finish off the wing. I'll do the rest of my makeup. I don't think I'll do anything for the under eyes this time around, or will I? Who knows? I probably will, and I'll do it off camera because I'm tired. So yeah, we'll come back and I'll show you what I've done. It'll be grand. Everything will be fine. Okay, I'm back. I finished the rest of my makeup. And as you can see, I glued things to myself. It's been a difficult couple of months and apparently it culminates in me gluing things to myself. Anyways, this is it. This is the whole thing. It's too late at night to bother doing anything with my hair. And anyways, when I do that, you can't see the full thing. So I'm going to zoom you in now so you can see the full eye look. So yeah. This is it. I took the whole Antidote thing quite literally and put some skulls on me. So you can see they're there. Put some gems, a little chain. Thankfully I don't have Stacey right now with me because she'd just be like, hiya! Take off the glasses. Don't mind the imprints. So you can see the skulls there. In case you're wondering about the lashes, they are desired by Lois Cosmetics. Are we surprised? More skull, gemmy gems. I did take some more shadow and bring it down here and I kind of worked it up a little bit, but it's not like that much. So I took like a dark green, I think it was like sable, and the black, which is like mystic, and I took aubergine and just did a little blendy swooshy swooshy. I'm trying not to fiddle with my face, that sounds really wrong. But yeah, this is it. Very wearable, very work appropriate. So yeah, that's it. That's the look. Let's get on to, well, the review. Okay, so I think it's a funny one in that there are essentially 3 palettes in one. There are a few shades that I think are a little bit too close to each other. So for instance, October and Fawn, these 2 shades are far too close. These shades actually, weirdly, when they're on the eye, look very, very similar. Same with these 2. So I think there could have been a little bit further editing. That being said, look, everything blends really, really nicely. So I ended up essentially using 18 shades out of this to create this look. So not exactly a simple look, but easy to do, weirdly. I think everything blended actually pretty darn well. There were a few kind of exceptions to that, most notably when I was trying to blend out Sweet Cheeks and Fuego. I had a little bit of trouble with that, but I reckon if you have a bit more patience than me, it will work. But I am not a patient person. I'm not. It's just how it is. I would have preferred if she came out with the 3 palettes separately rather than plopping them all together in one. That being said, I think the quality is really, really good. Stacey Marie is, by all accounts, a very, very nice person. She seems to be like very genuine, very sincere. So it's always nice to see somebody coming out with a collection and they themselves are a nice person. So it's like, oh, okay, great. I like this, right? I didn't think I would like this in the way that I did. I could have done with just getting the green bit. Let's be real, that's my jam. The quality is definitely there. I would probably rate this an 8.5 out of 10. I'm taking off the 1.5 because I think there are a few shadows that are a little bit too close to each other, and there are some slight blending issues. Nothing that you can't like sort out yourself. But I do think this is really, really lovely. And I don't regret buying it. I probably would get it again. I'm surprised I actually liked it as much as I did, but you know, that's it. Anyways, that's the whole video. Do please like, comment and subscribe. Turn on that notification bell so you can see more of the things that I'm doing over here, usually panicking. Do please share, because sharing is caring, unless of course it's an STD, in which case, you know, wrap it up. Don't be gross. But that's it. That's the end of the video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.